Hello and welcome to ACS Golf and this week's review, which is the first review for 2025. So happy new year to you all, and I hope all your golfing dreams for 2025 come true. If you're watching this back end of 2025 or in 2026, I hope all your golfing dreams did come true. Now, before I get into the review itself, if you're new to the channel or have been watching the channel for a while and you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do hit that subscription button and the bell icon. It'd be great to get to that 1,000 mark for subscribers sooner rather than later. It's going to happen this time, definitely going to happen this year. I think I only need at this point 108, I think, at the time I filmed this video. But it'd be great to get it sooner rather than later. It would mean a lot, and I'd be able to bring you more content as well. Currently at the moment, we've still got weekly reviews. It's going to happen every Sunday as per last year. Still got new equipment reviews on Friday every now and again, and obviously versus videos as well, and some extra stuff in there now and again. So obviously the more subscribers, the more content I will be able to bring you guys. Now on to the club that I'm reviewing the first review of the year, and it is a brand that personally I'd never heard of until somebody commented on one of my videos saying you've got to try these irons, and it's this. It's the Maltby TS4 iron. So this is a direct consumer iron. I believe it's an American brand. It is an American brand. And the idea is you buy the heads and then you go and get the shaft you want, and then boom, there you go. There is your iron. So yeah, Forge, heard a lot of good things about these, even though you don't really see them that much. I think there's only one place in the UK that sells Maltby online. But they don't even sell the TS4 actually. It's TS1 they had and the TS2. There's Nordic Golf, I believe. But another direct-to-consumer brand that potentially could save you money by going to get these, putting in your own shafts, and then boom, have a fantastic performing iron, which is a lot cheaper than the others. Especially potentially this one, which is very similar to the P70W irons, which I reviewed a couple of months ago. So do check the channel out for that review. And because it's very similar to that, I'm actually going to put this up against the 7 iron from the P70W iron, do a little versus video over the next couple of weeks to find out which one is better and which one performs the best. Is it the one that costs nearly I think £1,500 brand new, or the ones that cost around, we'll get into the price of it later, but it's about half. So there you go, we will do that review later. But yes, so this is the iron that I'm going to be reviewing today, for you guys today. Very excited about it, to be honest, because I do like those direct-to-consumer brands. The whole point of this channel really is not necessarily new golf equipment. I do it now and again. It's the older stuff which is still performs as well as the new stuff, and also these sort of direct-to-consumer brands which can save you guys some money. So there you go. That's the reason why we're reviewing it today. Now, as always, what we're going to do, we're going to have a closer look at this club, get back in here, going through all the technology that's in it, get down to the range, throw some figures at you, and then come back here for the ACS golf scale and my overall thoughts about it. All right, let's have a closer look at this club. So there you go. Great looking iron. Very, very smart looking. I mean, it's beautiful, to be honest. It really is beautiful. I even like the Maltby little sign there. And I like the grind on the bottom as well. Very P70W of it. I can only assume this is the inspiration behind these irons. But yeah, there you go. Now let's go into the technology that's in this head. So the Maltby TS4 forged irons are true billet forged using precision multi-step forging process to produce very precise parts. Designed to be a pure player's blade design that delivers performance and a feel unlike any other muscle back iron head. This incredibly playability and direct feedback comes from a detailed focus on the mass and dimensional characteristics of the design and creates an optimized center of gravity location in each head. Combined with a modern player's loft specifications, the TS4 produces tall level trajectories, distance and feel. Get into lofts in a second. yes, perhaps, but maybe even a little bit strong. But anyway, we'll get into that in a second. The TS4 head design is a forged 1025 C carbon steel and is co-forged with internal tungsten weight positioned low and towards the toe. So low and towards the toe. In the 3 iron through to the 8 iron to optimize the center of gravity location, and also to give you that little bit more forgiveness. All these modern blades, all these modern cavity back irons tend to have tungsten in them. Now, they're not necessarily true blades. Purists be like, true blade has nothing in it. It is just, forged iron. But for me, modern cavity back irons, muscle back irons, sorry, not cavity back, muscle back irons, they do have a little bit of tungsten there to help you get that little bit more of forgiveness. The CNC milled face, perfect, and the MG multi-groove technology ensures face flatness and places more grooves on the face for improved consistency. The sole of the CNC milled, so sole is CNC milled, just like TaylorMade, just like my TaylorMade wedges in the bag there as well, is milled to provide precise sole angle and radius specifications throughout the set. The TS4 features a modern tall leading edge grind and a 4-way radius sole, as well as a gradiated sole angle bounce to produce optimal turf interactions. Yeah, saying all the right things for that sort of better player iron, that really is. In the playing position, the TS4 irons present a traditional classic player's blade profile that will appeal to a higher level player as well as any level player that prefers a traditional look at a dress. In addition to look, the TS4 provides a high level of playability. It says in brackets here, super game improvement performance. These aren't game improvement irons. Do not read that, think these are game improvement irons. They are not. They are blades. They are muscle back irons. I always want to say cavity back irons. That's not right. They are muscle back irons. They are blades. They're going to be unforgiving. So that little brackets there annoys me quite a bit. Super game improvement performance. No. Yes, it gives that playability. It does, but it's not super game improvement. That's your big chunky irons that give you plenty of forgiveness. But anyway, says that a hallmark of Maltby design. So there you go. There's all the technology that's in there. Pretty nice for out there. With the CNC milling. I mean, the look as well. It's not going to glare in the sun, which is perfect. It's just a really smart looking blade. It really is. Now onto the locks, because this is what got me a little bit, to be honest. So 3 iron is 20 degrees, 4 iron is 23 degrees, 5 iron is 26 degrees, 6 iron is 29.5 degrees, 7 iron is 33 degrees, 8 iron is 37 degrees, 9 degrees is 9 degrees, 9 iron is 41 degrees, pitching wedge is 45.5 degrees, and gap wedge is 50 degrees. I think for modern day standards, these are probably spot on. But if you're looking at a true classic sort of blade, classic better players irons like the P7TWs, these are probably a little bit stronger lofted. P7TW irons are 35 degrees with a 7 iron, this being 33. It's a little bit more lofted, so therefore, are you going to get as good stopping distance? Perhaps. Are you're definitely going to get a little bit more distance, which is not a bad thing. But yeah, just something to think about there. I wouldn't say they're quite traditional lofts. Close to it, but I think if they're 34, then I would say, yeah, they're pretty much on the spot. But 33, and that 6 iron being under 30 degrees, borderline a little bit on, well, definitely for these type of irons, personally, I think that's a bit on the strong side, but hey, that's just my opinion. Now, there's all the technology that is in this club. Let's get down to the range. Going to throw some figures at you, and then we're going to come back here for the ACS golf scale and my overall thoughts about this iron. All right, see you in a bit.
So here I am down at the range with a 7 iron. For this type of iron, really, I'd be looking for around 150 yards total distance, and the carry, to be honest, with a 7 iron to be close to that. And that's pretty much what I got. So on average, I had a carry of 147 yards, total distance 152 yards, ball speed 108 miles per hour, launch angle 21 degrees, and height 70. Longest on the day was 154. yards carry, 158 total yards, ball speed 111 miles per hour, launch angle 21 and height 79. That's when I really went for it, so I was happy with that. Shortest on the day, which does show the lack of forgiveness in this club, which I'd expect from this type of club. Total carry then was only 139 yards and total distance was 143 yards. However, the ball flight was very similar to all the others. They were very close together. It was very consistent with this club, which I was really impressed with. Yes, I did have that fly 158, but I think that's just me swinging a little bit a little bit quicker as I warmed up because it is winter. So overall happy with it. Workability wise, really great. You can get it coming out low, you can get it coming out high, draw or fade. It really does work. And the thing is as well, when it comes down to the feeling, a little bit firmer than I would hope for. Personally for me, I'd expect a forged iron like this to be a little bit softer, but still not that bad at all. Quick table with all those figures for you, the average, longest and shortest. Again, happy with the numbers, but I think it could also be down to the degrees of this club. Even though it is a muscle back, it is a little bit strong, 33 degrees, and more traditional around the sort of 34, 35. So that's why I was probably getting decent distance even in winter, to be honest. But still, solid performance when it comes down to distance. Shortest, yes, that wasn't a great hit at all, and you will get punished if you did not do a great hit with these irons. Longest was just me going a little bit more for it. So overall, decent, solid performance.
So there you go. Really not bad results at all. Getting that on average 152 total yards. That long one when I got my 158 when I really went for it. Not bad. Really not bad. And I think they're just a little bit bigger than your sort of normal sort of muscle back irons. To be fair, they feel a little bit longer, so they inspire a little bit more confidence. Which really meant that I ended up really going for it when I managed to get my iron with the club. So, yeah, really good figures for this type of iron. Really happy with it. Not necessarily maybe with the rollout, 147 to 152. That's not the end of the world. It's only 5 yards, but your more traditional sort of muscle back, maybe expect 2-3 yards. In testing when I've normally tested them, sort of rollout. So this maybe rolled out a little bit more than I would have hoped, but hey, they're a little bit stronger lofted than I think. Personally, anyway, I'm sure some of you guys might disagree with me there. But anyway, let's get into the ACS golf scale. So remember, we've got distance, looks, price, feel, and forgiveness. 5 being the best, 1 being the worst. Now, straight on to distance, 2.5 out of 5. Very solid distance for this type of iron. I'm very happy with that. Anything around the 150 mark, really for me with this type of iron is spot on. I am increasing my swing speed at the moment, so I'm getting a little bit more distance out of everything, to be honest. But still, 2.5 out of 5, cannot complain at all. If you haven't watched my channel before, the categories for all irons. So this is why this is only going to get 2.5 out of 5, because again, improvement iron will probably get 4.55, etc. But yeah, 2.5 out of 5 for this type of iron. Very, very good, to be honest. Very solid. Moving on to feel. Feel, as I mentioned, when I was at the range there, it's quite firm. It's for a forged, muscle back iron. It felt a lot firmer than I was expecting. I much prefer it to be butter soft. Don't get me wrong, some people prefer that, firmness. Again, going back to what I'd sort of put this club up against, the P70Ws, they are quite firm, because Tiger wants them to feel a bit firmer. But yeah, I should expect it to be a little bit softer. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't like, oh my god, this feels horrible. It still felt really nice. But for this type of iron, I would expected it to feel a little bit softer, like that sort of butter soft. And personally, I preferred it to have felt butter soft. But still, not bad feeling. 4 out of 5. Don't get me wrong, it did not feel like a brick or anything like that. It just surprised me with how firm it did feel out in the middle of the face. When you miss the face, even when you're missing the face, it wasn't too much of a difference between the feel. I did scull a few, and it definitely didn't wring my hands either. So that tungsten weight's obviously in there doing its job. But yeah, just a little bit firmer than I would expected. So yeah, 4 out of 5 for that. Looks wise, as I mentioned, I think this thing looks really, really smart. Down at the ball, it looks great. I'm not too sure about, sort of, you can see it there. You've got sort of an indent on the iron now, which probably to do with the tungsten weighting, perhaps. I'm not quite sure about that. But overall, looks very smart. Perhaps the writing, the TS4 could be a bit better. Maybe the forge on the side. Maybe to put the stuff. Maybe the finish isn't quite there, so I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. The shape of it's lovely. It does look good, but I look at it, it doesn't scream premium, if you know what I mean. It doesn't seem like a premium tailor-made blade, or doesn't seem like a premium Ping or Titleist or Callaway or Mizuno. Something just seems a little bit off with it. It definitely seems to be, what you'd expect a sort of a cheaper thing to be. So even though it is a great looking club, and I am giving it 4 out of 5, I just can't give it any higher than that because there's something quite off it. It just doesn't quite look as premium as I feel like it should do. Even though obviously the price isn't premium at all, it's just something just slightly off. But it is a very good looking cup, so I will give it 4 out of 5. But just because of that slight off bit, I can't feel like I'm going to give it 5 out of 5 or 4.5 out of 5. Forgiveness wise, this is a blade. You saw, on that bad hit where just read that again. On that bad hit, dropped down to 143. I lost 9 yards of distance there. Still same ball flight, still same direction. Didn't, all very consistent around the same sort of spot, but would have left me quite short off the green. Not the end of the world, but not great. But still, as I'd expect from this iron. So 2 out of 5, I think, for forgiveness. And sort of, 2 out of 5. Not a question of doubt in my mind. I was going to sort of half guess myself there, but 2 out of 5. Forgiveness is there for this type of iron. The forgiveness is good, but it is a blade and it will punish you if you do not get the middle of the club. I'm not trying to sugarcoat this at all. This is a blade. So 2 out of 5. Now on to price. Price I've given it a 4 out of 5. I feel like I might have been a little bit harsh with the price, to be honest. Maybe could have given it a 4.5 out of 5. I mean, if you're looking to, well, there's a reason actually. And the reason why I'm giving it a 4 out of 5, to be fair, you can't necessarily get fitted for these, for example. So you're basically buying what you think you can buy and what you need to get in there to make it work for you, which gives an idea of, well, why don't you just buy something second hand? And then suddenly you're looking at this going, well, why would I buy this brand new? Well, I could buy something second hand, which is still could be in brand new condition, perform just as well as this, but be from one of the bigger brands. Because, over in America, they cost $59.99 per head, which is around £47. So you're looking for forward pitch and wedge just for the heads around that sort of $420 mark, which is around, sort of £335 in the UK. And then you're looking at shaft, you're looking forward pitch and wedge shaft, you're looking at maybe like what, I don't know, 250, I think, 250 dollars, maybe 250 pounds, etc. Then suddenly you're looking at sort of 600, 600 plus dollar wise, and you're suddenly looking at like sort of 600 pounds wise as well. I say that even though, 490, $420 plus $250 is actually $670. I did see a set of these already made up for the pitch and wedge for $624. So that's why I said that 625 mark and that sort of £600 mark in the UK, which isn't bad for a new iron. It is great, but again, I haven't seen you being able to go and get fitted for these. If you can't get fitted for these, then why wouldn't you go and spend £600 on Mizuno's MP20s? Or Mizuno Pros 221s, which you're going to find for exactly the same price of this in a second-hand market. You could even look at, maybe the models from previous year. I mean, the JPX Tour irons, 923s, 925s just come out. You'd probably pick these up, maybe brand new for the same sort of. There's a lot of options out there where you can get some really top-end quality equipment. I'm not saying this isn't top-end, but just top-end quality equipment. We know which looks a little bit more premium. The name makes it more premium. People are going to be like, oh, you got the Mizuno, blah 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 blah. So so that's why I've given it a 4 out of 5. I think these are like really good value for what they are. I think if you want to get a brand new set and get it in your bag, I think great. I think in a second-hand market as well, I can imagine the price will drop as well. I haven't actually been able to find any myself, but there'd just be doubt in my mind if I was going, all right, I'm going to pick the heads up, I'm going to put my shaft in there, get it all set up for me. I'd just be like, well, why am I just not getting a, 2-3-year-old set Mizuno's which has barely been used, or looking in the sale for like last year's models, which is just, it's only their half price, just a niggle would be in my mind there. when looking at this. So that's why I've given it a 4 out of 5. I think the value is very good. Obviously, seeing the performance is very good, but just that little niggle there would probably mean that I wouldn't actually go for these. I would probably go for the Mizunos or go for, you know, your Titleist blades or something like that if I was looking for that muscle back iron, to be honest. You know, I think I picked up my P7TW irons where I got water pitching was cheaper than this, brand new, and they've been barely used. So there you go. So there you go. There's my review of the Maltby TS4 iron. I think it's a great iron. I think, you know, what they're doing potentially really good. Maybe the finish needs to be a little bit better, and I think the pricing isn't bad actually. To be fair, brand new. If they can fit you, you can get fittings. Then perfect. Then, you know, if you, so, you know, please do let me know in the comments. You know, if you get, you know, if you manage to get fitting from Maltby, because then great. And I have seen the TS1, the TS2, you know, going for sale, well, for around £400 in the UK at this Nordic website, which is, I mean, that'd be awesome. You know, that's great price. But yeah, but I just personally, I'd just go and buy myself a second-hand Mizunos. I really would. MP20s, sorted, in the bag, boom. Couple of games in, realise I'm not good enough for blades, and change them out for something else. But hey, there you go. All right, guys. Now I hope you enjoyed the first review of 2025, and remember, do subscribe to the channel so you do not miss out on any more reviews, because, you know, there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out this year. It's an exciting time for the channel. And also give this a like. Remember, if you did enjoy the video, and do comment down below, you know, have you tried Maltby irons? If you have, let me know your thoughts. I'd really like to know. All right, guys, I'll see you soon for the next ACS Golf review. See you then. Bye-bye.